All right, today's topic is identity. I'm going out to the shisha bar with wifey, and we're gonna have a nice little chat about identity as it attaches to money, because I know that you all want to make a lot of cash, and I know for a fact, the thing preventing you from making the cash you want to make is your identity, because for a very long time that kept me limited. So I'm gonna hop into the car here, and we'll have a nice little chat about identity. Let's get it in. All right, so let's talk about identity when it comes to making money, when it comes to literally changing your life by printing cash, which in the last 2 years, I have had a very, very weird and interesting relationship with the idea of identity. So when a lot of people talk about identity on YouTube, or just influencers, coaches, all this, they talk about identity, I feel it's too much of a woo-woo spiritual sense. It's not necessarily hyper practical, right? Meaning a lot of people, I don't think teach it in a sense or talk about it in a sense where it can be very easily applied and understood. I know that the amount of money that I've made, my ability to collect cash, my ability to change my life, going from being a high ticket sales rep who was making $3K a month, barely if that, to being a business owner now who is a high ticket sales consultant and coach, making $40K per month, 30 to 40K, depending on the month, and scaling the business faster. I know that there's a direct correlation and a direct relationship to the identity I crafted. So for this video, for this breakdown we're going to do, it's helpful to think of identity not as this woo-woo big construct by itself, just your identity, bro. But I want you to think of identity from the context of performance leading to highly specific outcomes, okay? So your identity affects your performance, and your performance leads to very, very specific, tangible outcomes. That's the model that we're going to follow. When I think of identity, and as it applies to me, what I've seen in my life just in the time I've, again, been a closer first, that was mid-2023, where I got into sales because my business had crashed, and I completely failed out in business, had a falling out with my business partner, owed him a decent chunk of change. My bank account, I had like $100 left in my business account, barely over 2K in a personal account, like barely could pay rent, to now approaching 6 figures liquid, having the BMW, like really nice apartment, all that stuff, right? The thing that shifted for me was the way that I performed and the way that I was able to command cash in a live format, okay? And this happened to me in 2 ways. One was as a closer, and we'll go into that first because sales and like high ticket sales changed my life. And then was a business owner, which was scaling the skill set that I had to where I was able to impact more people, where I was able to help other people change their lives and make a bunch of money, and I became a creator of value. Okay, so we'll start with sales. What I found with a lot of high ticket closers is, and a lot of people in general, because they have never made money, because they've never experienced wealth or experienced collecting cash at scale, the identity around the kind of cash that they deserve to make or that they can command in the industry, right, or in the online space, they don't believe they're worthy of collecting that kind of cash. Okay, it's very interesting. And one of the ways that I learned this was on the dating offer, I started selling $20,000 dating packages because we had a couple of different tiers, and the tier that I wanted to sell originally was, or that I was comfortable with, was the lower one, right? Selling 5K, 7K, 8K, classic coaching numbers. But there was also an elite level package that was 20K. And in my mind, I was like, I couldn't sell this. Like, there's no way I can sell this. There's no way that I can command this kind of respect from prospects where they would pay 20K for dating coaching. That'd be crazy. I could never do this. But again, identity shift, I ended up selling it. I ended up closing on that offer, closing that offer, and at that price point, made a bunch of money. The identity, the root identity that a lot of closers and just people in the online space don't understand is the idea of leveling up your consciousness and leveling up your relationship to what number you believe you can actually say. This sounds a little weird, but trust me, I'm going to go somewhere with this. I think. Changing your relationship to, this is the number that I can command on calls, and this is the number that I'm able to close, or that I can close on, or that I can execute on in the market, right? That's the difference between a closer that's really, really comfortable and really, really good at just, hey, I can close anyone, I can make cash, I can produce, etc., versus a closer who stays broke, even on a good offer. And here's how it translates. So when you get onto an offer, let's say you're selling something that's $10,000, okay? And you start talking to prospects and they're giving you objections, or they start challenging you. You may talk to people that are a little bit difficult. They have a lot of hesitation. Being able to handle that and being able to close most people you talk to, or close at like a 40-50% rate, comes down to your willingness and your ability to go through stress, go through tension, and be able to take responsibility for what your prospect is giving you and the different challenges, the different tests that your prospect might give you. Take responsibility for handling that and lead them to where they need to be. If your identity is not aligned with, I'm someone who can quote these numbers and say, bro, this offer is 10K, and just make that money and say, I deserve to make that money, when it comes time to take the money from someone, you'll underperform every single time. Why will you underperform? Because you're going to be trapped in your head, because you're going to be second guessing yourself, because you're going to be judging your own ability to lead someone and get them to where they need to be. And for me, I credit my first sales manager with this, or I should say my second one, because it wasn't on the first offer I was on. My second sales manager, Lynn, with this. And she really programmed this into me and was like, Tim, you need to understand that on a call, you have the keys to this person's future. Like, you're a creator of value. You're not just here showing up and doing a job and having a conversation and hoping the guy closes. You're literally here and you have the keys to what happens next in this guy's life, which comes with a great deal of responsibility. But then my identity leveled up and I began to see myself as the person who was not just deserving, but was responsible to say those numbers and distribute that kind of value, aka a really solid dating coaching program that would help men, find better relationships, find better partners. I was responsible for giving that experience to them and bringing them to where they needed to be. How does this tie into you? Because I don't want to make it all about me. My story is just kind of a case study. The reason I bring this up and how it ties to you is I see a lot of closers get into the space and they're kind of just going through the motions. Right? We just trained on this in Protocols, which is our live training program where I train sales reps in how to hit months of 15, 20K plus in commissions. We just trained on this. One of our guys, I won't say his name here, he let someone go on a call without handling their objections. And I felt like it could have been handled, right? And this offer it's a 6K offer. I won't say what industry it's in, but it's a 6K coaching offer. He let them go. He didn't close them. I wasn't happy. We dug into him and was like, brother, you need to do better. What I saw in that call, and the reason I wasn't happy, is because he was actively walking away from the responsibility to take control of what happens next in this person's future, and he was kind of going through the motions. He got bounced off his protocols. He left that chance. And me and him talked later. We reconnected a couple of days later, after we had broken the call down, and we went very deep on identity. And he's a client of mine. He's someone that this kid is like really talented, someone I deeply respect, and I think is going to make a lot of money. He already has made a good amount of money in this space, but we're taking him from good to great. And what's so interesting about this kid is his identity hasn't been locked into, up until now where we're training on it, hasn't been locked into, I'm someone who can create a better future for a person, right? So as a remote sales rep, someone who wants to make a bunch of money, which if you're watching this, I'm 100% sure that you do, you're confronted with a very, very specific challenge right now that you're either going to back away from or you're either going to completely own. And your ability to own this challenge is what's going to change your life. Are you someone who is a creator of better futures for the prospects you talk to? Are you or are you not? The moment you step into that and take that identity of like, I'm the creator who can bring someone to where they need to be, right? And I am that person and I don't shirk that responsibility. I embody that in my tonality. I embody that in my energy. I embody that in everything across the board. The moment you step into that power, that's when you begin to print. That's when you begin to make money, right? And that's what I saw as a closer. That's what took me from 3K, 10K, 15K plus, right? And I'm coming to an end here, but I want you to just understand the place I'm coming from. It's not about changing your identity for the sake of it because of spiritual work. It's because changing your identity and adopting the identity of I am a problem solver and I am a leader, like I am this person, directly impacts how you perform. It directly impacts how you train in sales. It directly impacts your psychology, right? The way that you communicate with your prospects, the way that you talk to yourself when you have poor streaks and you don't close well, right? All of this is affected by the identity that you have and the identity you're operating under. And this is what allowed me to then build a business and become a sales consultant and go beyond just being the closer, which was absolutely amazing, but my passion, my true passion is teaching frameworks, teaching systems. And that's what this allowed me to do, to teach frameworks, teach systems at the highest level, and build a business that's doing $500,000, pushing for 7 figures this year. All right, a complete change, a complete radical change in my life. And this is what I just want to transmit to you watching this. It's about identity. It's about who you become. Within that is process. Within that is learning the system. Within that is following the, as my hat says, protocols, right? And not everyone gets this hat. A few of our people have this. You have to earn it, right? It's the protocol. The protocol is the process, but the only way you can follow the protocol is if you adopt the identity of I am a leader, I am a problem solver, I am one who creates change. That's that. That's it. I just wanted to send you this message today, this transmission, as it were, or whatever we'd call it. I'll leave you with that. We have the newsletter down below. You can see the link to it. It's completely free, and it's all my best stuff to teach you how to make 10K, 15K plus. We go into advanced human behavior and psychology on the newsletter, and it's completely free to join that. Or you can book a call with my team as well, also free. A strategy call, 15 minutes, where we'll see if we can help you and if you'd be a good fit to work with us. There's no sales call. There's no pitch in that strategy call. It's just 15 minutes, free. We ask you a couple questions, see where you're at in sales. And if we feel like we can help, we'll say, hey, you want to book a demo call, that's the sales call. Or we'll say, hey, we don't think we can help right now, but come and check back in on us and we'll give you some value completely for free, no strings attached. We're just building a relationship with you. So that's the resources that we have below. Best of luck. Keep pushing. Well, there's no luck involved. There's just skill set. So best of skill set. Keep pushing. And I'll see you on the next one. I'll let you go. Goodbye.